Welcome to the McAllister Report. We join John McAllister, top football evaluator, as he shares wisdom and interviews coaches and athletes from around the country. Enjoy today's podcast.
Hello, my name is John McAllister, and welcome to the McAllister Scouting Report. Tonight, we're going to jump into visit with a wide receiver, 6'2", 185. He caught my eye as a sophomore. He's going to be a senior this fall. His name is Nate Lyman from Kings High School down in Kings Mill, down in Cincinnati near the big amusement park. So he's a very good football player. He's a good wide receiver. He's a really good person, a kid. I've seen him a couple times. I said earlier, he caught my eye in the playoffs when he was a sophomore. He made a lot of catches. Unbelievable, a couple of them. And that's when I started following him. Excited to talk to him. And he also has another teammate that I've known for a few years. So if you sit back and enjoy my video podcast with Nate Lyman from Kings Mill, Kings High School. My guest today, as I said earlier, is Nate Lyman. He's a wide receiver from Kings High School. And believe it or not, the first time I ever saw him play, I thought he was unreal, and he was a sophomore. In fact, as he kept going, they almost beat Toledo Central Catholic. You made some really good plays in that game.
Thank you.
You're quarterback, but you also, you made really good. That's why I kept in track. I was down at your college day and watching that last spring, and hopefully you'll have another one, but done a good job. Nate Lyman, how are you?
I'm good, football, basketball. I'm just, off season for football, and then obviously I'm in basketball right now. So, it's a grind, but, I just continue to work every day. Just work towards my goals.
It's really good. I think now you just mentioned basketball. Do you believe two sports is important for a lot of guys?
I do. In fact, I'm going to run track as well. So I think the more sports high school athletes play, it just shows that you're an athlete, you're competitive. Obviously I like to, have get better in the off season for football, but me personally, I'm competitive. I like playing against people. So basketball games, I just want to win. So I'm competitive.
Well, that's really good. And I totally agree with you. In this day and age, you have to find some time to lift and get your core, not so much your guys disagree, not so much your bench press, it's your core and your back. And because that determines a lot, and that'll go up into your shoulders.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Basketball is important to you. You're going to run track.
Yes, sir.
Has there anybody, as you're going to be a senior, has anybody along the way been really an encourager to you, or a booster to you, a slap you on the butt guy? Is anybody like that in your life?
Yeah. So he actually graduated, and you might know him. His name's Michael Masari. He was on our team 2 years ago. One of the best receivers I've ever seen, and I'm blessed that he's still to this day one of my closest friends. When I was a freshman, I was moved up to varsity, and all I wanted to do was be like him, be like Mike is what I said. The amount of work he puts into the game and his skills,
Right.
it inspires me and encourages me. And he, all throughout my high school career so far, has constantly been reaching out to me and just makes me better every single day.
That's really good. That's really good, Nate. Okay. I have these little posts, even at my age, at 75, I still have little sayings, little posters, little cliches. What, are there any words that you live by?
Yeah. So kind of like a motto I go by is keep going. One of my cousin's close friends, he passed away. He went to Mueller, and kind of like the thing that they go by is keep going. And something about that just kind of like, things will get tough, especially as a high school athlete. You're balancing sports and you're balancing school, so you can't, like, you just got to keep going. And so that's something I live by.
Yeah, you got, and find a way to keep going.
Yeah.
Find a way. That's so important, I think.
Yes, sir.
What's one thing? I have 3 silly questions. Okay, here's the first one. What's one thing that nobody knows about you?
Ooh, nobody knows about me.
We can pass if you can't handle it. What's one thing nobody knows about you?
I think one thing nobody knows about me, and this is completely off topic, has nothing to do with sports or anything, is I've never had sushi. I have lots of friends who really like sushi, and I've never tried sushi. I've never had it. So that's one thing nobody knows about me.
All the guys I do, that's a pretty unique answer right there, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Has there been a top sports moment for you going into, you've, like I told you, I blew you up a little bit there early about that game, a playoff game, but has there ever been a top sports moment for you that your buddies will sit back 10 years from now and say, yeah, I remember that time? Is there one like that for you?
Yeah. So it actually happened this past year. It was week 9. We played at Little Miami, kind of a rival game for us. And I broke the school receiving record with 5 receiving touchdowns.
Oh, wow. In one game. Well, that will be one. Maybe you'll go 6 this year and have another moment like that. How's school going? Is the classroom a foreign state to you, or a foreign country, or not? Do you like the classroom?
Yeah. I mean, it's been going great. Like growing up, because both my parents, they played sports in college, so they know the importance of grades. So ever since I was young, like good grades has been stressed on me. So, I make sure to stay up, like, on top of my work. Right now, I have a 3.8 GPA. It's been going really well. So
good. Well, let's give a shout out to your parents. What did they play in college?
My dad played football and my mom played volleyball.
Oh my. Volleyball's got to be the worst. No, wait, let me finish this. It's the scariest sport for me. I've seen a couple of college games for women, and they're nuts. That ball comes so fast.
It's crazy.
Even in high school, it's the same thing, I think. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk football. Wide receiver. What are your strengths? Nathan?
I would say my strengths are, I like to think of myself as like a deep threat. A lot of my touchdowns come from me just getting by the defender and, like you were talking about earlier, separation. So I would say definitely being a deep threat is one of my strengths for sure.
What else?
I think my route running has gotten a lot better. It's improved a lot. Yes. I think I would say I'm a pretty good route runner. And then I would also say another strength of mine is just like my athleticism. I feel like I'm I think I'm an athlete. I mean, I've grown up. I've played almost every sport. I just think that's one of my strengths is athleticism.
What do you have to improve on?
Some things I have to improve on is speed. I still think speed. I think explosiveness. I think another thing for me is just going up and getting the ball. People will say, like, I guess head taps or, all this stuff. Just one big thing that I wasn't great at this year was jump balls, 50-50 balls, and that's definitely a thing I need to improve on. Blocking is also another thing I could improve on. I mean, as a receiver, blocking's honestly might be more important than some of the other stuff. So,
well, I will give you my 2 cents, and you didn't even ask for it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that we talked earlier.
Mhm.
I think you have really good hands.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think you catch the ball with your hands.
Mhm.
I think you run the sidelines. And I remember watching you last spring and then last year ago. I didn't see you this year. I have to go look at your highlight film. I think you work the sidelines pretty well. And
Sir.
you get in and you do, for some reason, I mean, you're the quarterback and you hook up, but you have good timing, I think.
Yeah.
Here's one thing you need to prove on. We talked about this earlier,
Yeah.
but maybe people should. Your burst, I think. I
Yeah.
think that's something that people don't. Your quick hips, I don't know. They call it flipping the open the hips, flipping the hips. All these silly terms.
Yeah.
Wiggle, but I think that, and then speed.
Mhm.
And I think speed might come, but you really have to. Track's going to help you.
Yep.
I don't know how fast everybody else is, but getting that 4x1 this spring,
Mhm.
getting that 4x1, and that helps you because there's your burst then. Boom, boom. Take and go, take and go.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And here's the other thing that I would suggest to you if you do on your highlight film. I know those long bombs. After a while, those are on there, and if I'm an evaluator, I go, oh, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Here you go. I know you can catch the deep ball.
Mhm.
Couple things that you should probably try to get on your highlights. One is blocking.
Yeah.
You don't have any. Maybe
Mhm.
you had one. You had one in the end zone, I think, and I think the guy
Yeah.
was stumbling down. But no, I'm
Yeah.
joking here. But even if it's like, now I know it sounds silly, but even if it's like punt returns or blocking or carrying, getting a couple kickoffs, being on the kickoff team.
Yeah.
Because see, that means you're going to hit somebody.
Uh-huh.
And so the good college coaches look at that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and they also look at full game tapes. But those are some things you might want to work on, I think.
Yes, sir.
But when I saw you live, I was really impressed. And I think everything, because you catch the ball and you're fluid, okay?
Mhm.
And I think you can get faster, especially helping you in track. Okay. What are your thoughts on film study? Do you look at much film?
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier about my dad, he played college football, so obviously he knows like how much film you need to be putting in. And obviously the dude I was talking about, Michael Masari, he also stressed watching film on me. So, even now I continue to watch film during the season. I'll watch hours of film. When you know what the team wants to do and what your opponent can do, I feel like it's an advantage for sure.
Yeah, and then with Huddle, I think you can get a lot of different films. But look sometimes at some of the best receivers. I don't think they're great receivers in the 25 class. When I'm saying they're not, they might think they are, but they're not a whole lot of no-brainers. I don't think.
Yeah.
Even he just moved down south, but the boy that played at Taft, I think. I forget his name. Big, tall, wide receiver. He was committed to Ohio State. He still has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
He has a lot of work to do. He's raw, but anyway. So I got off the subject there. I think film study is really important.
Yeah.
Really important because it's just like in anything. If you look at it long enough, when you get in the game, you have a sense.
Mhm.
You just have a feeling what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And usually it works out. Okay, end of sermon here. What have I done? I love to talk football and ball and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
Okay, one more. Now, another silly question. If you could trade places with somebody for one day, 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, who would it be? It can be anybody. Doesn't have to be a sports personality. Doesn't have to be anybody. It can be anybody. Who would it be? Who would you like to learn about? Don't tell me Taylor Swift either. Okay.
I was gonna say Taylor Swift. I would say, honestly, probably Justin Jefferson. I mean, I know that's kind of biased because he's a receiver. He's probably my favorite receiver in the NFL, but I feel like he has a cool life. I would love to, just be Justin Jefferson for a day.
and learn about what he does to make
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, just a few more questions here.
Yep.
What's the best thing? Now we've kind of talked about it. What's the best thing about playing football?
I mean everything. I like when I'm not like right now, all I want to do is play football. The bond you build with your teammates, the relationships you build. Like I've told you multiple times, I'm still best friends with one of my teammates I met 2 years ago as a freshman. Just the competitive side of it, everything about football, I love.
I think track is a good team sport, but football is the best.
Yeah.
It's just a different atmosphere in
Yeah.
football because you're more in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And I think you work pretty hard for your brothers, I think, and stuff like that. And that's really good, for sure. Okay, energy's huge. Okay, I have energy. I get slow down a little bit. I still build up energy, like to do this video, because I want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of energy? Excuse me, senior year. What kind of energy are you going to bring to the team this year?
Last year, I don't know if you followed us much last year, but we had kind of an off year, and obviously it's not something we're proud about. Something we're already trying to change. I know, and I can't be there for basketball, which I'm bummed about, but we started lifting, and we take it really seriously. We have the group of seniors this year. We're already getting together, talking about, what we need to do, what we don't need to do, just stuff to build on from last year. Because the goal is state championship. We came up short 2 years ago, and we're looking to go back there and finish the job.
And you were close because they were the best team in your division. So they deserve that. And he's a really good friend of mine, so I have to say something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there ever a time for you when the light came on? You said you played some as a freshman. Was there ever a time in the last 3 years where the light came on for you? Said, "Hey, I gotta get it. I gotta get after it now. This is over. I gotta get going." Was there ever a time like that for you?
Yeah, I would say going into my sophomore year, I knew that, I was going to step into a big role. I knew I was going to start as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So that kind of, this is my shot. I got to make the most out of it because
that's what I wanted. Yeah.
Because I know there's guys ahead of me, above my, in the grade above me. There's guys below me who want it just as much as me. So I just, that was kind of my big stepping into the light moment.
For sure. Okay. I'm going to come and recruit you, and I'm going to talk to you. Mm-hmm. What is the best quality that you have?
I'd say my best quality.
Yeah, as a person, not as a receiver. What's your best quality?
I would say I'm very hardworking. I'm determined. I don't like. I always know I'm always looking for better. I'm never satisfied like where I'm at.
Good. Last question. No, wait, I have 2 more. Here's the last. What do you hope your teammates say about you behind your back? You've kind of answered it, but what do you hope they say about you behind their back?
I would hope they'd say I'm a leader. I'm hardworking. I would love if they say, I pushed them to be better, because I know when I was a sophomore, I looked up to the other guys. I looked up to many of those seniors, and they made me want to work harder. So I hope my teammates would say the same about me. Okay,
this really, really, really nice interview. What's recruiting look like right now? What does recruiting look like?
Yeah, so like I was telling you earlier, I've been to one junior day so far, and I'll head over to another one. I took some game visits
Good.
over the season I try to get to as many places as I can, just to build a connection with the coaches and find a place that fits me. Yeah. So it's been going well.
Good. It fits you. That's a good comment.
Yes,
Don't worry about it. It's not. It's Coach Trussell told me this once about coaching. He said, it's not always where you coach, it's who you coach for.
Yes, sir.
And that's in football, it's the same way with players. It's not always where you play, it's who you play for and make you better.
Yes, sir.
Sounds really good. I really appreciate it, Nate. I really appreciate you and being on my show, okay?
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That's good.